Supreme Court once again set to weigh in on the abortion debate this upcoming term. Justices agreeing to hear a case that could limit access to a commonly used abortion pill called Mifepristone. The case centers around how the Food and Drug Administration allows the pill to be prescribed. It was approved 23 years ago for use and required an in-person prescription, but it's been available through telemedicine and by mail since 2016. This is the first abortion case the court will hear since the monumental Dobbs decision that overturned Roe v. Wade.
Katie Daniel is the state policy director at the pro-life Susan B. Anthony list, and she joins us now. Katie, welcome. So let's talk about what this case could mean for Mifepristone. Could the Supreme Court rule to ban it outright, or is this really more about how the drug is allowed to be prescribed?
Well, the court has signaled that in this case, what they're really focused on is whether the FDA broke the law when it brought these drugs to market, and then subsequently when it changed the rules, loosening them up for how the drugs were regulated. So it seems like the court's not going to take that issue on directly. It's something that's going to be key to the trial. But for right now, the court is focused on whether the FDA broke its own rules and federal law. And so far, two courts have already found that it probably did.
So you just discussed there a little bit about FDA protocol. Let's talk about the drug itself and some of its side effects. The FDA lists side effects as nausea, weakness, fever, chills, vomiting, headache, diarrhea, and dizziness. Could these safety concerns of Mifepristone affect the court's decision?
Well, everything that you listed is true. The FDA also has this drug under a black box. That is their most serious safety regulation. It says that both the public and medical professionals need to understand that these are inherently dangerous medications. So everything you listed is true. Death is also a side effect. Women have died from taking these pills as prescribed. So it's inherently risky. It's something the public should know about. And it's a huge part of this case because what's at issue is whether the FDA took those risks seriously enough when it allowed these pills to be sent through the mail, including to children without their parents knowing.
So we're expecting a ruling in June. Katie, how do you foresee these 9 justices ruling in this case?
Well, this is really a case about the FDA. Of course, it's an abortion case. These are the abortion drugs, and the industry and the Biden administration want to send them through the mail. But ultimately, it's about whether the FDA followed the law and did their due diligence. It's very clear that they did not. And so far, 2 other federal courts have already found that and said that the FDA needs to go back and do its due diligence and protect the public. So we're optimistic that the Supreme Court will agree with these other 2 courts and find the same thing.
Katie, if that is the case, is there any concern about voter backlash like we've seen since the Dobbs case? We've seen several state referenda where abortion was put on the ballot, and overwhelmingly in all these states, many red states, they've voted to uphold what the right, what the left calls women's reproductive rights.
Well, we've certainly seen many in the media, present company excluded, lying about what the abortion industry is up to. But when you poll people directly, they don't want pills sent through the mail. They don't trust that the FDA has their best interests in mind and that it's not responsive to big pharma, which is who's bringing this case. It is the drug manufacturer who says we will lose money if safeguards are reimposed on these medications. And they certainly don't want drugs sent to kids in the mail. So we think the American people are with us, and we look forward to them learning more about these dangerous drugs.
All right, Katie Daniel with the Susan B. Anthony list, we thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Katie.
Thank you.